Is it just me, or have an awful lot of what used to be personality types been reclassified as mental conditions? Like, there's new ones every year, you know, like, you know, it was simpler when I was young, you know, where attention deficit disorder just meant you're a bit of a wild fucker. Kind of twitchy. Obsessive compulsive disorder just meant you were a bit of a fussy britches. You like things the way you like them, you know? And if you were proper crazy, like batshit crazy, like Tom Cruise crazy, you were a bit of a character. You know, not like now, like shyness. Shyness has been reclassified as social anxiety disorder. Not being shy is false confidence syndrome. Pretty soon, being alive will be death avoidance compulsion. I'm alive or not, you're just fooling yourself. Oh, but there is one. There's one. Yes, that's caught my attention. It's language dysphasia. It's about teenagers who have no verbal communication. Teenagers can apparently get by on 40 words or less. 40 words! And the rest is just noises. And the most versatile of their words is the word like. Because, you know, nothing is anything anymore. It's only like something. I was like, eh. I was like, meh. I was like, meh. That's the whole conversation. But it's not as versatile as they think. Not even close. Because I was at a bus stop not very long ago, and I actually heard one girl turn around to another and go, and her name was like Karen. So I was like, was it Sharon? Darren, that's fairly similar. But let me have a look there. I have one prop that I need to use. There we go. We've seen these, or variations of them. I know this makes me look like an asshole. I know that, but they're fun, you know. And this, you know, it's vapor, so I'm not breaking any laws, you know. And it's taken off in a big way, especially in the States and things like that. There's whole communities. I've just thrown it away. There's whole communities. Vaping, they call it. They call themselves vapors or vapists, which is more grammatically correct. But you know, I mean, this isn't solving the problem. I mean, this is just getting your habit and you know, your awful addiction and just, you know, consuming it in a more socially acceptable way. You know, I said, why stop there? You know, why look like a hood rat sucking on a glass pipe when you could get crack patches? Or Guinness gumdrops. You know, why look like an alcoholic at 11 o'clock in the morning when you could be eating sweets? Although my favourite is heroin eye drops. You know, instant craving relief, warning, may cause red eye. No, well, certain things, we know things are going out of fashion. In Ireland, smoking is becoming less acceptable. Sex, we're all about sex now, it's cool. So all of this is just over here. I mean, 10 years ago, you wouldn't even recognise the place. We're all cool about sex now, you know. Like, I got a sex survey from a magazine recently. And 10 years ago, you wouldn't even have heard of that, you know. And it had the standard questions, you know, like, you know, where's the most public place you've had sex? I was like, my face. It's the most public thing I own. I was like, what's your favourite sex toy? I was like, Optimus Prime. Leader of the Autobots. But then they had a standard question, and they said, what's your biggest turn-on? And for me, you know, I had thought about it, and I thought for me, it's when somebody slips into their native language at a height of passion. You know, like the middle of the night, and you're like, wee. Or a see. Or taw, and I'm anybody's at that point. Again, that was for the Irish people. But no, it's true though, the guys, like Irish people, we need to get out of this country, you know, because everybody's exotic somewhere. You know, even the Irish. Seriously, you know, I know, obviously, you know, go out there into the world, there's a whole variety of people to meet and people to sleep with and stuff, you know. And of course, everybody does these days, we look up things online before we go to find out the cultural no-nos. You know, like, you know, you don't shake with your left hand in Arabia, you don't point your feet at anybody in Thailand, you don't rub hummus into a Turkish man's beard. No matter how good it feels, it's not good. But I've met and this place is full of tourists. Have you ever looked at any of the ones coming to Ireland? Anybody checked any of these out? They're marvellous. Most of them, of course, are alcohol related. A small drop is not a small drop. If somebody buys you a pint, it's not a gift. You buy one back. Never ask for directions in Ireland, because asking for directions in Ireland is fraught with danger. Because an Irish person will give you directions to a place, even if he doesn't know where you're going. We're too polite, you know. Why did you tell him that? It would have been rude to tell him nothing. But, and I met a few American girls this weekend who told me that there's ones about coming to Ireland warning women about Irish men. Because apparently we're disarmingly charming, you know, beguilingly clever about what we say, and we'll almost talk you into anything. And apparently the reason for this is that on a daily basis we have to contend with Irish women. Who are highly sarcastic, deeply cynical, and incredibly difficult to impress. Irish guys, we gotta get the fuck out of here. So we don't know how match fit we are. We've been training in boot camp all this time. We're like those Kenyans who run at 4 kilometers, you know. By the time you get down to sea level, you're like, this is a piece of business. We're like a nuclear physicist applying for a job in McDonald's. Woefully overqualified. But you know, and I'm not bitter, you know, not quite the opposite. You know, so guys, next time you're out in an Irish bar and you try and pay a compliment to an Irish woman and she goes, loser, just say, thank you, drill sergeant! And I do it again. But the Irish have come on sexually quite a lot. And for me, the best example, and this is a true story, I was on a bus in Dublin, just driving along, minding my own business. I was going a bit too fast, hit a bump in the street, and out of a woman's handbag, rolling across the floor, came the 16-speed double-edged rabbit-eared vibrator. And nobody batted an eyelid. You know, in fact, some of the women were looking at each other going, oh, I hate when that happens. That's amazing, you know. Mind you, I didn't get the same consideration when the rubber vagina in my pocket hit the floor. Maybe we haven't come on as far as we think we have. I'm joking, I don't have a rubber vagina. It's all natural down there. Silly joke. Yeah. But however, yes, where are the Americans? There's a couple of Chicago guys here. Right, yeah, because folks, it's hard being single. It is. Well, for several reasons, and mostly they're Americans' fault. Ladies, your expectation of male beauty has gone up. You know, we're supposed to be better, you know, in better shape, you know, slightly tanned, better groomed. And it seems to be this move towards waxing and shaving of the male body. Ladies, is that what you want? No. No? No. No. You don't want to turn us into those hairless cats. No. Looking like we should be on the lap of a Bond villain, you know. Although, guys, a certain amount of grooming is not a bad thing, lads. We know this, you know. Because I find at this stage of my life, I find my nose hair can no longer contain its curiosity about the outside world. What's going on? I need to know. Actually, I'm going to do a quick survey. I'm actually not going to look because I don't like picking on people. So, just so I know who I'm talking to, single people, make some noise! Alright, a little bit smoke, I thought over there. But, and couples, make some noise! Jesus. I didn't even say happy couples, you know. It's weird, the couples hate single people. You hate our guts. You know, you do. You're always trying to hook us up with friends of yours. You know, I think it's perhaps that we're maybe living reminders that perhaps you settled just a bit too soon. You know, and who could blame me? You know, you're out for a night out, you know, and you're talking to a friend of yours who's a part of a couple, and you're like, oh, dude, the night we had last night, Jesus. And by the 5th line of cocaine, I don't even know which one of the twins I slept with. What did you get up to last night? Well, we had a glass of red wine and watched CSI in Miami. Well, that's fun too. It's just a different kind of fun. But no, the other reason why it's hard being single these days, and I am blaming American people for this, because these days we're expected to date. It's an American import. The first date didn't happen in Ireland until 1998. Some of you might remember it. It was an unremarkable evening, you know, just dinner and some wine, and about 400 people pressed up against the restaurant window. Look at that, they're splitting the bill. That's amazing. But, you know, and I don't like, you know, I mean, for millennia, we survived as a species for millennia without dating. You know, like in Ireland, you know, if you want to meet the man or woman of your dreams, all you had to do was wake up with a cracking hangover and a dead arm. I'll see her again. You know, it was more straightforward. You know. But it's the game, it's the dating game. That's what breaks my head, you know. And it is a game with all of its weird game rules. Like, first of all, you roll your dice at the beginning of the night just to see what personality you're going to pretend to have for the next 3 or 4 hours. I got animal lover. Yay! I got humanitarian. Oh, you spend just a bit too much time talking about yourself. Move back 5 spaces. You develop the ability to look like you believe whatever theory they have. Healing crystals, you say. It sounds so plausible. Move forward 10 spaces. Oh no, you've just admitted you're not really vegetarian and you do smoke. Move back 20 spaces. But if you're lucky, you win the dating game and you get first prize. And that's brand new sex with a brand new person. And that's the best, isn't it? Oh, you know, it's like 12 hours of friction and fusion. You don't go to sleep in case you miss something, you know. You're both lying there in the daylight wrecked. You both have beard rash, even though neither of you has a beard. You're both looking at each other knowing things are going to sting in the shower, you know. It gets worse. But hey, listen, I mean, you've had the night of your life, and that's amazing. You know, you found somebody, but your reality doesn't care. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, somebody's got to go to work or something, and the spell is broken, and somebody's got to get dressed real fast, and you're like, I'm sorry about this, I have to go, and then you stop, and you have that little exchange. I know. The connection, the fusion, I know. And you hear them going down the steps. And you lie back tired, sore, but very happy. And you hear the front door slam. And you go... Fucking 12 hours is a really long time. You know, love is rare in this universe. You should encourage love wherever you see it. You know, especially for me, at those really awkward times when a very good friend of yours is introducing you to a new boyfriend or girlfriend for the very first time. You're duty bound to not take the piss. Now, in saying that, last Valentine's night, the most romantic night of the year. You know, a friend of mine turned around, Claire, she turned with her new French boyfriend, the most romantic of races, surely. And said, Derek, I'd like you to meet Fabrice. Oh, sorry, for fuck's sake. And she had that look, don't say anything, funny man. I couldn't help myself. How could you? I tried to be subtle. Tried. You know, I'd be chatting away, and every now and again I'd lean in and go... That's a lovely cologne you've got there, Fabrice. Everybody, Fabrice smells fantastic. Oh, I'd be chatting away and I go, whoa, what the hell? Say it, don't spray it, Fabrice. Jesus Christ. But I got caught. I did get caught. When I asked him to come with me to the smoking area. You know, he didn't smoke, but just to help eliminate those nasty odors. But I'll leave you on this. This is the perils of comedy. You're up here telling stories about people you know. The lights are in your face, you don't know who's out there. I was telling the Fabrice story a couple of weeks back, and 2 friends of Claire's were in the audience. And they were pissed off at me. And they came up all annoyed, you know, we heard you doing jokes about Fabrice, we had to come down here and find out for ourselves. You bastard. You know nothing about this man. He's so good to Claire, her life has changed for the better since he's come into it. I'm like, I know, he's like a breath of fresh air. Good night, folks. Enjoy your night.